All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the Bills of Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming at you again through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Before we get started, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you we say shalom.
Shalom.
So in this lesson, we're pretty much going to go into the MOTB, all right? Because we're seeing a lot of advancements in this technology, more patients, more what they call clinical trials, right? Pretty much uh, day three, on this whole Neuralink thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. First, I'm gonna get this video and pull up on the screen. Bear with me. This video right here from NBC News. It says brain implant helps man with paralysis regain movement. So we'll play this movie and then we'll get some precepts.
For years, Keith Thomas lived out his dream in Manhattan, managing hundreds of people for a Wall Street firm, and few worries weighing him down. What did you like to do?
Play tennis, go jogging on the river.
But a Long Island pool accident in 2020 changed his whole life, paralyzing the 45-year-old from the mid-chest down and robbing him of sensation and movement in all of his limbs, at least. Until a medical breakthrough at Northwell Health's Feinstein Institute for Medical Research, where lead bioengineer Chad Boughton and his team developed a technology they call double neural bypass. Chips are implanted in a patient's brain, and the signals for sensation and movement sent back and interpreted through artificial intelligence, and then redirected to the body and spine, creating a loop that could prove life-changing.
Taking someone who had lost the ability to move their limbs, to sense or touch things and actually feel the sensation of that, to restore those abilities to the patient.
Yes, that's exactly right. We have finally discovered that the signals in the brain are still there and strong even after a traumatic injury.
Other neurotechnology companies, like Elon Musk's Neuralink, have implanted chips in patients to assist functionality, but recovery and restoring damaged neurons appears to be new ground.
Is it wild to you to think that you have become the first person to sort of blaze this path and show that it's possible?
Yeah.
We watched as Keith managed movements that only months ago would have been impossible.
That's actually sensory data.
From picking up a cup
What are you feeling, Keith?
Like a jolt of energy.
to navigating a quick bite of Twizzlers.
Got it.
Last year, surgeons managed to place those chips in Keith's brain in areas that they spent months mapping out, leading to incremental improvements. And then a watershed moment.
I'm ready.
When Keith actually felt his sister's palm for the first time since the accident.
That was an incredible moment. And it was a dry eye in the lab.
And with 5 million people living in the U.S. with paralysis and 100 million worldwide, the significance is hard to overstate.
It really hit me. In that moment, I felt like he's experiencing something he hadn't experienced in a long time, and that there's hope. There's hope for the future.
In the midst of a lot of misfortune, do you feel pretty fortunate?
Yeah, I do feel pretty fortunate.
A story whose next chapter is only beginning to be told. Sam Brock, NBC News, Long Island.
All right, see, so there you have it. This technology, this Neuralink, this brain implant, this is the technology of the future. And as you heard, they're saying that they're pairing it up with AI, and that's not even to, mention also the you have the 5G already out. They're already working up on the 6G, to make everybody connected to the Internet of Things, right? Again, the AI becoming more and more, I guess you could say, intrusive into people's lives, So this is the wave of the future, man. This is what Esau has in mind. This is one of his devices that he's trying to implant into people or put on people to accept. He's making it more and more. He's just desensitizing people to the idea of having brain implants in their mind, in their brain, in their hand, right? Pretty much turning people into these cybernetic machines. Something that 20 years ago, 30 years ago was looked at as being crazy. Hey, all this is happening right before your eyes, man. Right. So let's go ahead and jump into some precepts real quick. Let's get Second Thessalonians 2:8. Baba Kashai, if you don't mind reading.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming."
Right. So who's that wicked? That's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Right. He is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and he's being revealed by the way of the prophets. Right. Prophecy is showing that this man is the wicked. Right. By his actions, the way he's moving, his history record. It all points to this man being the wicked, that serpent from the garden. Right. You can go ahead.
Verse 9, it says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders."
Right. So it says all power and signs and lying wonders. And this is a lying wonder. This micro C hip, this brain implant that they're saying. I'm trying to pull up a good image. It ain't. Let me see. Bear with me. But anyway, you get the point. That brain implant is one of those devices, one of those lying wonders that he's using, because as you saw in the video, they're pretty much stating that, oh, you can get this implant in your head and now you can walk again. You're crippled, you're disabled, whatever. You'll be able to see, you'll be able to walk, you'll be able to move your limbs, have your motor functions back up and at optimum level again. Right? All you gotta do is get this, thing in your head. This is all part of his, lying wonders, right? And it only makes sense, especially that we're coming down to the end of this thing, that Esau starts to increase in his technological advancements, right? That's all a part of his sorcery, his witchcraft. Back there was a couple articles from what's his name, Yuval Noah Harari and the WEF, pretty much stating that um, that Rome, back when Rome was up, they had this exact same idea, but they couldn't implement this NWO to its fullest because they didn't have the technology. But now they do. So now that they're pushing it and making it more well, pretty
Accessible.
much, yeah, accessible, and they're pushing it, to get people primed for this to be released into the masses. Um, Now we're going to start seeing this man start really, really, forwarding his agenda, you know, and people are accepting it. You have AI robots. They're talking about AI robots, AI itself. People are using that to create certain content, videos, art. So, but all these things is out here now, right? So people can't really say, oh, this ain't going to happen in our lifetime. But we're seeing at a rapid pace is well, we see an Esau move at a very rapid pace, picking things up a lot quicker, to where he's really going to start pushing this and forcing this on people, right? As a matter of fact, can we get? I'll pull it up. Revelation 12:12.
Can I get this in the NLT?
Con, you got it.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9 NLT. It says, "This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles." Now, I want to get this word for wonders, because that's that word for miracles. And it says wonders. It says performed by anyone. It says accordingly something so strange as to cause it to be watched or observed. So pretty much, at this time, to the masses of the people, that's the things as such, the Neuralink, the those people that are getting those charagmas in their hands and stuff like that, that would be strange to them, So that plays into that plays into his deception, you see, because the masses of the people don't really have the understanding to ultimately, really they don't have the faith to be able to stand against that, But really, that goes into how you said, Esau is having the technological advances. So the things that are coming off as strange is piquing the people's interest, And what he's going to do is he's going to tie it to their wants and needs. So they're going to be that much more inclined to go and do something detrimental.
Exactly. Especially these these what they call them, tech heads that are so into technology and the into the newest and latest thing. More and more people are pretty much uh, um, inclining themselves more into the technology side of things. So with more advancements and more updates and more of these technological uh, um, products coming out, we're gonna start seeing people being more and more inclined to make their lives a little bit more convenient. And like this, like we mentioned, the lying wonders, these miracles, right? That Esau's these pseudo miracles that Esau's coming up with, in order to help disabled people, people with impaired vision or impaired arms or whatever it might be. Esau is going to use this to pretty much, like you said, deceive the masses into receiving this thing. But I want to get this real quick, Revelation 12 and 12, because like I mentioned, we're coming to the time where Esau is being put on a straight path to where he has no choice but to lean all the way into his witchcraft, to his enchantments, into his sorcery. But this is Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Right. So, especially right now, since he's seeing Jake waking up, right, pursuant to Revelation 11 and verse 11, right? He's seeing us stand upon our feet. It says, "And great fear fell upon them which saw us," because Esau knows that with the time of us rising up, or with us rising up and waking up to the truth, that his power structure and everything is falling apart. So he has to make drastic moves, take drastic measures, which is him, forward in that NWO agenda that he has, to in hopes of maintaining his kingdom afloat, right? And also in thinking that he's going to be able to have full ownership over the Most High's creation, right?
Right. That's why he's doing things like you see Trump be coming in with the DEI stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. He's pretty much getting Jake out of the way. Meanwhile, he's doing things like rolling out those different little security dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Doing things like in warehouse type jobs. Putting robots and stuff like that. Making it into a more police state. The AI. So all of this is tying into this man's system. You know.
Gone, gone. Now I want to get Psalms, Psalm 64 and verse 6.
I grab it.
Gone.
This is Psalms chapter 64 and verse 6. It says, "They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep."
Right. So it says, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Right. It's because Esau has done the research. He's done the testing. He's doing it right now with the whole Neuralink, right? Doing the clinical trials, all these things, right? To make sure everything is up and is able to pretty much take off as soon as they release it to the masses, right? And they do all the research. They understand, what an implant inside your hand or inside your brain can do to you. They understand how the body works. They understand the science behind all these things, right? And they're pushing into the people without telling them really the consequences of taking these things, right? Because here it is, Esau's got the 5G up and running. You got your cell phones, and they're already talking about how having a cell phone in your pocket at all times can do damage to your body. Imagine something that's inside your body, or something inside your brain. Like, how much more can that affect your body, right? But again, these are just all side effects that can happen from having these things. But at the same time, Esau had done the science. He's done the research to accomplish what he wants as far as his NWO, his agenda that he has is setting up pretty much. Now we can get Daniel 12 and verse 4.
God, Zadanya Allah, this is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4, and it says, "But thou, O Danya Allah, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right. In the end, when we're seeing knowledge be increased, right, we're seeing the prophets waking up, we're seeing knowledge of the scriptures being opened up unto us. But at the same time, Esau, you know, he's being opened up to more and more deeper things. You know, he has knowledge on more technological advancements, lasers, right? He's got lasers, he's got the dual weapons, he's got all kinds of weaponries, and he's going to use this as well as a sort of a weapon, kind of like a Trojan horse. He's going to use this to get into people's bodies. You know what I'm saying? Because with that implant, people don't understand. You know, there's certain movies out there like that movie Implant. I don't know if you've seen it. Uh, Whenever this lady gets a implant inside her brain, and then the AI starts to pretty much take over, starts to make
Starts
her do stuff.
to make her telling her to do different stuff, sending her on different hit missions and stuff, and she ended up jumping off the building.
Right, Con.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah, hey, and like I said, this is all going to be connected with the AI. So, and we know the AI is a demon, right? Because when you look at that word demon, it goes back to intelligence and artificial intelligence. And so we're going to have people hooked up to the Internet of Things and having the AI pretty much control them. So Esau knows what he's doing, man. Even Elon Musk tells you, he told you that when the AI gets, they start to work on AI or they um, release AI, somewhat that effect, he pretty much said that they're unleashing the demon. So they know what they're doing, man. They understand what's going on. It's only the people, the masses, that don't really get it. They're too naive in thinking that their government is pretty much has their best interests in mind. But that's not the case. You know, you got to understand all these governments, they all go back to one source, and that's the top elite. And their plan again is to take over the whole world, pretty much have ownership over everything, with nothing obstructing them, nothing getting in their way. And that's why we're seeing, a ramp up of of uh black swan events, a ramp up of certain things that we're seeing, like earthquakes in diverse places,
The
goddamn,
planes.
the planes falling down from the sky, uh T attacks, you know what I'm saying? And all
Shit.
these things are just gonna ramp up even more and more. You were saying something
Right.
about?
Yeah, kind of back in maybe like year and a half ago, a couple months ago, the thing was the the sea attacks, the cyber attacks.
Mm,
They pretty much use that as a means to, because like you said, you got the cyber attacks, you got T attacks, so to speak. You got the planes. You got Trump just back in office with Musk and his cabinet. All right. There's just a lot of stuff going on that is revolving around, the MOTB. You got the real ID. All of these things are leading up. Because how Esau does is he doesn't just go full on. He does something called gradualism. So he
mm,
introduces it in steps. So you had the third industrial revolution to where swiping the credit cards and stuff like that. Now from swiping went into the tapping of the card. All right, but that's going to the Apple Pay. All right, from Apple Pay, you got iWatches or Apple Watches. That's going to lead into the Charagma. So that's
mm,
essentially the stage that we're at. Because just like we got right here, knowledge is being increased.
mm. Con. And something that came to my mind the other day while I was thinking while I was meditating on a couple of precepts is that um this whole social media thing, I believe that was a way because especially TikTok, people be scrolling, looking at multiple videos. This is just a way, like, I feel like that was a way to start ramping things up because people's
Hmm.
minds are so caught up in so many other things that they ain't really like paying attention to what's going on around them,
Right.
right? So Esau is able to move at a more rapid pace, you know. But that was just something I want to throw out there. But let's get this other article real quick. This is from AP News, and let me see if I can read the title. It says Elon Musk says a third patient got a Neuralink brain implant. The works is part of a booming field. Now, when you saw in the first video, that wasn't Elon Musk's team. So you have multiple companies, multiple teams working on computer a brain chip computer interface, right?
Right. Pretty much.
But you got it, bro.
Pretty much like going into, you mentioned the point of it being multiple charagmas. It's kind of like when they came out with the jump shot. You had this group, you had that group, you had this group, you had that group, but it was all working for the same team.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be like your cell phones. You have your Samsungs, you have your Apple, you have your Motorola. It's gonna be the exact same thing. I can see Apple coming out with their own C hip. Like even with the whole tracking thing, you have your Apple. What's it called? The whole tracking little thing you put like on your wallet or something. But
The
you
little
have
tag, the tag.
yeah, the Apple Tag. You have
Mhm.
Tile. You have various companies that make these things now, and it's going to be the same thing with this brain chip and the implant in your hand, right? You have what's called Synchron. You have Neuralink. You have a couple Chinese companies. Man, pretty much everybody's tapping into this because again, this is the wave of the future. This is where things is going. But I'm gonna read a little bit into this article. It says Elon Musk said a third person has received an implant from his brain computer interface company Neuralink, one of many groups working to connect the nervous system to machines. It says we got 3 humans with Neuralinks and all are working well, he said during a wide range interview at a Las Vegas event streamed on social media platform X. Since the first brain implant about a year ago, Musk said the company has upgraded the devices with more electrodes, higher bandwidth, and longer battery life. Musk also said Neuralink hopes to implant the experimental device in 20 to 30 more people this year. So you see, that's a big jump from, 1 year ago, only one person having it to now you have 3 people, and he's saying at the end of the year they hope to have 20 to 30 people, chipped up. That's just showing you how rapid these things is moving, man. Like you have Jake, I talk to some Jakes, older Jakes, and they be talking about how some of these things that they can't see it happening in their lifetime, but it is going to happen in their lifetime. Baba Kushab, Ak, you mind getting that one precept where it says, uh, in this generation, pretty much all things will be fulfilled.
The one in you're talking about Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter.
I believe so.
Give me a second.
I'll continue reading in this.
I got it.
Con.
This is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 20. It says, hold on, my phone froze. All right, right here. It's Ezekiel 12, and I start at verse 19. It says, and say unto the people of the land, thus saith the Lord, power of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and of the land of Israel, they shall eat their bread with carefulness and drink their water with astonishment, that her land may be desolate from all that is therein, because of the violence of all them that dwell therein. And the cities that are inhabited shall be laid waste, and the land shall be desolate, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth?
Right. So that's something that our people like to always say. Oh y'all, this is something that ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. Y'all been saying this forever. We ain't gonna see this. We ain't gonna see this now. Or some people even just doubt the scriptures altogether, saying that it's a man-made book, all this bullshit. But we're seeing it happen now before your eyes. 5 years ago, or I should say 10 years ago, you know, Jake was saying that shit, heavily. But now, we're starting to see, Jake's mouths being stopped. But you go ahead.
Verse 23. Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Yasha'Allah, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision.
Right. So you ain't gonna be saying that no more. Once all these things start coming to fruition, we're gonna start seeing Jake in this scared mindset. They're gonna realize that everything that they doubted is actually coming to fruition, right? But the Most High said that, hey, you read that latter part again, Baba Shah?
Kind of Ezekiel 12 and verse 23. 23 it says, "Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision."
Right? The days are at hand and the effect of every vision. And that's what we're seeing. The Most High is making it plain and evident that everything that he is saying will come to pass, and it is coming to pass. You know, you can't say no more that the C hip ain't the mic, or that the MOTB ain't the micro C hip. There are people still saying that, but at the end of the day, yo, you can just see it. It is evident to those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, man. It's clear. Because here it is, they're tying the MOTB, the one that goes into your hand, they're tying that with being able to pay, buy or sell. There's people already over there in Sweden, even here in America, that have the C hip in their hand over here buying stuff, paying with their hand. Right? They already have the infrastructure ready. That's why you have your tap ID or tap to pay and all that shit. You gonna say something, Mike?
I got a precept.
Con.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself." All right, and ultimately this is done, all right, through going into the scriptures and measuring up, current events with, the prophecies that's written in the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we measure the time, It says, "And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before," because pretty much everything, the end was prophesied from the beginning, so we have all the signs and the prophecies, to reference. All right, verse 2, it says, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." The Lord is visiting, the world. Scriptures say that, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. All right, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter and the 50th verse. It said, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes," or which we mentioned, the earthquakes, it was an earthquake, not too long ago. It's earthquakes happening all the time, which is very prevalent, in these days we in right now. So it says, "Therefore, when there shall be earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," which is uproars right now. You had uproars of the people, a couple years ago. You got it right now. Pretty much going into, Northern Kingdom feeling the squeeze, from ice and things of that nature. Also, the people in America, Babylon the Great, are in the uproar. It says, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." Going back to Ezekiel, the 12th chapter, and the 22nd and 23rd verse. Pretty much the effect of every vision. We can see it. It's evident, it's manifest. When you go into those words for evident, manifest, all right, pretty much means it's obvious. Everybody pretty much is seeing it. Everybody is essentially feeling the squeeze.
Con. Yep. Hey, and this is evident as hell, bro. Like, the scriptures, actually, let me just get it. Revelation 13 and verse 16. It says that he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Isn't that what we're seeing? A mark in your hand or in your forehead. They're putting that thing in your head, man, or in your hand. That's how you're going to pay. That's how you're going to be able to maneuver within society, be part of the grid. Right? That's the wave of the future. That's how society is going to be ran. This whole 15-minute cities, pretty much that's how the whole infrastructure is going to be run by here in this next what they call the fourth industrial age. It's all going to be through technology. Micro C hub. You're going to have to merge, or they're talking about merging man with machine, and that's going to have to be with the micro C hip or that or yeah, the micro C hip in your hand or in your brain, right? But verse 17 it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Right. So that's pretty much the point, right? So you ain't gonna be able to operate within society unless you have this. There's gonna be no access to internet. You ain't gonna have access to buy a house, to buy land. You can't live unless you have this thing. That's the way things is going. But we're seeing the beginning stages of this, right? Them priming the people's minds, so that way they won't suspect anything. People are already getting this, right? When you look at like I mentioned, Sweden, right? When you look up Sweden, a lot of people got this already over there, you know. But and they'll say, oh, there's no negative side effects, but that's because they haven't activated the 5G or the 6G yet. But once they do and have everybody connected, we're going to start seeing these side effects start kicking in. And as a matter of fact, we can get that in Revelation 16 and verse 2, Baba Shah.
Can you repeat the verse, Baba Shah?
Yeah, Revelation 16 and verse 2.
This is Revelation 16 and verse 2. It says, "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of, the charagma of the beast, and upon them which worship his image."
Right. So you see, and that's what we're going to when we're going to start seeing that grievous sore. Man, we're going to start seeing motherfuckers growing tumors, having cancer. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn boils and pus leaking out of it. Like these are the side effects of having these things. And, you know, and science will tell you that. You know, when you look up Esau's, you know, science as far as when it goes to that connection, like the 5G, the the whole broadband connection, that's very toxic to the body. All right. So this is all going to fail on his head, fall on his face at the end of the day. You know, we can get Psalm 21 and verse 11,
God. This is
unless you
Psalms
have
chapter.
something.
Wow. This is Psalms chapter 21 and verse 11. It says, For they intended evil against thee. They imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform.
Right. And this is one of their mischievous devices, one of their ideas, one of their plans to get everybody see him. Right. The NWO. Right. This is all part of that grand scheme that Esau is working up, but he's not going to be able to perform it. Right. The scriptures talk about how it says disappoint him, cast him down. Let me see if I can get that. Bear with me. This is Psalm 17 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Right. So the Most High is going to disappoint Esau in his devices that he has, man. His plans, his ideas. Right. They're not going to take ground. Right. So again, all these things, you know, is all vain. It's all vain imagination. If you can get that, Baba Shah. I think it's Psalms 2.
God. This is can I read this real fast?
Come on, you got it.
God, this will go along with what we're going into. This is it's an excerpt from a book. It says start from right here. It says, "The vision does not stop here." It says smart homes are to be integrated into smart cities with 5G antenna gridding the landscape. These smart cities through RFID charagmas will track and monitor all things bought, sold, exchanged, as well as movement throughout the environment, in which pretty much, we understand that right now, we in the 5G, you see, but that 6G is what Esau is looking to roll out, which if I'm not mistaken, I think Moab already has that out, the 6G, but pretty much just going into that, that's why he mentioned the 15-minute cities, to where everything is pretty much central to keeping everybody in the same spot, so that he has tab of whatever everyone is doing. This pretty much goes into his NWO. So I'm gonna get this real fast. This is Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1, because again this plays into his NWO. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?"
Come on, you can break it down.
It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?" Because ultimately, it's a vain thing to ultimately feel like as if this is going to um, it's a vain thing to feel as if this plan is going to reach its full enterprise. Which the scriptures go into how we got it in Psalms the 21st chapter 11th verse. His enterprise which he is not able to perform. Again, all of this is entailing of the false wonders, the 15-minute cities, the charagmas, the AI, all of that is vain. Esau had a good little run, which right now he's coming with, with that great wrath. He's putting legislations, regulations, and stuff like that into order. But truthfully, in the end, it's gonna come to no avail.
That's right. That's right. I just want to read a little bit more into this article, and then we can close it out. Because one point I wanted to make in this article is just how this man is enticing these people with disabilities to get these brain implants. But it says Musk didn't provide any details about the latest patients, but there are updates on the previous ones. It says the second patient who has a spinal cord injury and got the implant last summer was playing video games with the help of the device and learning how to use computer aided design software to create 3D objects. It says the first patient, also paralyzed after a spinal cord injury, described how it helped him play video games and chess. So, and you already had, a couple years ago, you had, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg talking about, what they call it? God damn, what's it called? Pretty much creating that, what's it called? It's almost like the Matrix. Like you go into like the digital realm or some shit. I forgot what it's called. You remember, Rock?
The Internet of Things.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost like they're creating like a world inside of like a digital world that you can enter
Oh
into.
yeah. Shit.
I forgot the
Virtual
name of it.
reality.
Yeah, like virtual reality, right? So you had Mark Zuckerberg with the virtual reality, so they can just put this CHIP into people's brains, and these people that are completely incapacitated, they can just make them live in a virtual world,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it says, well, while such the developments at Neuralink often attract notice, many other companies and research groups are working on similar projects. So see, many other companies and research groups are working on similar projects. So, hey, man, this is the way things is going, man. And best believe they're receiving funding from the government. But it says 2 studies last year in the New England Journal of Medicine described how brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, help people with ALS communicate better. So there you go, man. And they're even talking about like, and I'll stop right there. I'll stop right there because I remember they mentioned in one of the, what's his name, Klaus Schwab's interviews, he said that they're going to be able to communicate without even moving their mouth, just mentally communicating with people. So again, just going back to those lying wonders, man. This is where things is going, and this man right here is going to be, leading the charge here in America to get everybody CHIP, man. You have anything else? That's pretty much it. That's all I had. So, with that, we played the lesson was edifying. We're going to go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.